Let's tackle an easy question for this video. Let's talk about the purpose of life. Obviously, this is a tough question. It's been debated for centuries and centuries, and different people have different ideas about what the purpose of life is. And I would suggest to you that one of the reasons people are having so much trouble with this single question is because they're looking for the one sole single answer to the question. They're looking for the smallest, shortest, simplest answer they can find, and it's not that simple. The purpose of life gets to be rather complex. Now, there are a couple of ideas that we could put forth as kind of a summary statement, and I would use perhaps Matthew 22:37 through 39, where he says the first thing you want to do is to love God and keep His commandments, and the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, that's a summary statement, because when we talk about loving God with all your heart, that involves a whole lot. That's not just, a fluffy little warm feeling you have when you fall asleep at night. When we talk about loving your neighbor as yourself, again, not just a warm fuzzy feeling, but there is a lot of activity involved in that statement. So I would really rather say that's more of a summary statement than the single sole conclusive answer. I usually use Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, where he says the whole of man is to fear God and keep His commandments. Again, a summary statement, because there is so much depth in that it would take volumes to unfold, unpack, and write it all down. And that's the problem. People are trying to look for, give me a 3-word answer, give me a 6-word answer, just give me a sentence, give me a really quick sound bite that I can catch in 20 seconds, memorize, and get on out of here because I'm busy. I got stuff to do, right? You're never going to understand the purpose of life if that is your mindset. But if your mindset is very comprehensive, like Genesis to Revelation kind of comprehensive, now you're going to begin to understand more and more about the purpose of life and really get some traction with it. So when you get a summary statement like this, it's just the beginning of the whole process. It gives you a starting point, I think a great starting point, but all it is a starting point. And then you're going to bring in verses like Matthew 5 and 16, where he says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So the purpose of life here, if you want to work off of this verse, is to shine. To shine as bright as you can. That doesn't mean hide in your house from people. That doesn't mean sit on the pew and just warm the bench and say, I can't. It means to take and be everything you can be. The parable of the talents. Don't bury it, but get out there and invest it. See how far you can take it before the master comes back and asks an account. That's the purpose of life. Or we could do Acts 20 and 35, where Jesus is quoted as saying, "It is better to give than to receive." And the purpose of life is to give. And we live in a consumer-minded culture that's like, no. So many people have bought into the Madison Avenue advertising things that you got to be getting. It's all about going out and grabbing everything you can and just building up the biggest whatever pile of junk you can. And Jesus said, no, it's not. Jesus said the real purpose of life, if you really want to understand life, is to give. To be a channel of blessing. In fact, we have a song, it's in many songbooks, "Make me a channel of blessings." There's your purpose of life. Some people are just so afraid to let go and really pursue purpose from a biblical point of view. I personally don't think the challenge of the question is that tough if you approach it from a broader biblical perspective. But if you insist on boiling it down to one nice little neat sentence, I do think you can get some nice summary statements. I think there's some good summary statements out there. But then you're going to have to unpack it. And that's going to take some time, because that's the way life works. So as always, there's you something to think about, to ponder as you go through your day. And I hope you have a great day.